acapella thing where,
Or someplace way up north.
in fact, I got to leave.
No. Not
This is done, I
New
gotta
England there.
get out and get up to
That's not very
Iron Dale.
far. From the southern part of the country.
Yeah, there's all these
Yes, just so you know, that's where the camera
Yeah,
is,
yes,
okay?
yes, yes.
But yes, no, this is just fine.
Yeah.
And I,
So I can put my violin
for a
here.
little while. I'll take it off.
Because what I'm playing music, I'm not really there. For the opening music, yeah, it's only when I. only
But
when
there's
I-
all these readings and stuff like that in there,
Yeah.
so. Yeah, that's fine, I'll just hold it in my hand.
Is
No
there
big
another?
deal.
Oh, I can play all the music here.
Don't do it to accommodate me, accommodate you first.
Also here, it feels like it's a little awkward.
No, just leave it, leave it, leave it, leave it. It's okay. You know, sometimes you try to make things a little bit better for yourself, and sometimes it just doesn't work, right? I can hold it, I get the clipboard.
But anyway, I start with it, but only when I present, I move.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got the other stand too. if you want.
Just bring another stand for me.
No, you know what, that's too much stuff up front, Chuck.
Aesthetically, okay, good.
Friday.
Good, it's, we're getting
Could you
more.
do it for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she'll do
No, that's fine. I know how that is. Sometimes I go in the middle of, oh, I didn't answer that. And then, but you don't answer that. I know, that's the thing I find busy too.
Morning.
Yeah, you're the, so you can be on the.
Yeah. Yeah, but when I play the other music, it's only when I present.
Right.
Yeah, so which means that it's going to be exactly that one thing, and it's never again, so I'm going to have this second half. I said so.
You said 4/4, and I saw March 4th. Oh, okay. Yes, that was this one. Yeah, because Ron's going with us. So probably 5. So you're zooming.
Well,
I wanted to.
And it's on YouTube as well.
there, yeah.
But
something
you're
like
still
that.
in the.
That's why I moved it. Because I stood out there.
But what's it's difficult because this is really not our space. And, you know.
I can't see.
Hi, how are you, Chuck?
Doing all right.
100% now?
95. Still got a little tickle in my throat, you know, little rough edges on my singing voice, but
Yeah, it'll get there.
I gotta sing for 2 hours though this afternoon. But I'll be careful with it.
Yeah, don't push it or.
Right.
I said, well, I was thinking to play a C and a G.
You could bring it, point it down a little bit. You don't need the ceiling in the shot.
I'm explaining I just want to explain the ratio is the G vibrates 3 times.
And I love that it gives you like a 10-degree window. Can be up here or down here.
Just little.
And that's the second most powerful. In terms of healing, that's the most powerful.
Yeah, I'm also talking about like pure, just intonation and the equal
Yeah.
tempo. In orchestra, we try to achieve the pure intonation.
Right.
But the piano
class.
He's usually,
It's not,
You know what,
yeah,
I
not
used
complicated.
to, I would make.
he's usually
like,
talking
The
here,
ratio actually is 2.99.
but I give him some flexibility.
Do want to make sure every key sounds.
Suki was gonna probably talk about right here.
You could tell her, yeah, but it's a common
The
sense.
versus
I
the just intonation.
Yeah.
Which was based on age, and then if you changed key, it would be
The
all
difference, yeah.
different.
Yeah, but the art is to learn how to listen to people and then reach that.
Or 442, same page.
Present my flag is that Woodbury, the daughter is, and then after the first 10 minutes, we got this congregation's from way back. But we stayed for the whole game. I joined the town. So, but you know, I know when I'm consistent with people notice that I'm not here.
Yeah, we missed you last week. You know, you're such a regular that you need to give notice that you're gonna not be.
Remember to tell something, if I know ahead of time, that they would like to use that space during the week.
Are you gonna talk a little bit about the special?
Drug testing, drug therapy.
Little bit.
Okay, good.
Whatever you call it, I don't know.
Just one or two sentences.
But I,
And so we gave them 2 years.
Right, so it has to be a.
yeah, maybe we should say too that it is, just so everyone knows, it's national
Well,
women's
it
history.
turns
I think Alice might mention that in the very beginning.
Good, okay.
But they ended up asking us.
God, you got a spring dress on and
I
everything.
do, I just couldn't help myself.
All right.
Watching the time.
Okay.
I told Kelly that your raspberry kind of clashes with my plum over here.
That's true, but then I said flowers don't clash.
I can make this work.
That's right.
And then, because we're sharing the space, we're also sharing furniture and some things like that, and they finally said about 2 or 3 years ago, I can't remember, said, we want you to live here. Oh my God. And so we found this place.
Oh,
But it was like, you know.
it's an a cappella festival.
2003, and
It's going on this weekend.
later, almost 20 years later.
Because it's the center of the country where most of the, yeah.
There's so much left to do, and you can see we have a small.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're hosting and there were a whole bunch of groups that sang yesterday and got coaching and stuff, and we weren't part of the performances. We're getting coached by this nationally known acapella coach guy.
I've only been around. Considering it, the church was established in 1988. That is the year before I was born.
All these people that go to Florida, a friend of mine just got back from Florida, and I'm thinking, why? The weather is so nice here.
Yeah, but usually
we're gonna have
it
people
isn't.
moving here, I think.
Usually, you're really irritated with weather at this time.
Yeah,
Too many.
yeah. It hasn't been a
Well,
winter.
you know that Bill and Kitty are on Zoom because they're in Florida.
Right,
this time.
right, yeah, I knew they were down there. And my brother goes down every year to visit a friend of his that has cancer, and they go down to help him and for a week or so. And another friend just got back. Yeah.
I know people that go down for 6 months plus 1 day.
Oh, right, so they get the
So
free,
they get the
income tax. yeah.
income tax.
Oh.
They can claim that as their primary residence.
Got it.
And then-
What does it tell you about a state that has no income tax? Florida versus Minnesota.
Yes, yeah, right? I wish going upstairs.
But we have no tax on food.
Oh, right, New Hampshire,
Food except for our food, yeah.
there's a bunch of them. Nevada,
I also
maybe
like
even?
shoes
Yeah.
that light up when I walk.
Tennessee's pretty low tax too.
I can make you some music.
That's why one of the reasons.
Everybody's ready, we still got 5 minutes, folks.
Yeah, it's 10:46.
Keep talking. Guess what Chuck's doing today? He's got his t-shirt on.
Yeah,
I need to make some for Leanne
I'm festivaling.
Is it kind of like an all-day thing, or?
Yeah, it was all day yesterday, and then
Okay.
today it's just work, half a day.
So they can send them all home to all those people from all over the place?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or at least,
materials for
like, that doesn't sound any of the broad,
over there.
it's just the displays on our roof, okay.
Keep talking, we still got a
sitting
few
down
more
for-
minutes.
Talk amongst yourself. Remember that, who was the woman that always said that? Talk among yourself.
Barbara,
Somebody or other, I can't think of her name.
it was Mike Myers, but it was Barbara Richmond.
Oh, from Saturday night?
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
I'll give you a topic. It's called 444-4444.
For so many years, Chuck and I would get to church first ones here to set up and everything. And this morning when I walked in, I was so amazed at all the chatter and the energy that was in here when we got here. It was very cool.
To have a fellowship sanctuary so that people could practice without having the chatter, and people could chat without.
Right.
Yes. Why don't you put that on your endowments for those? The Grindelin Foundation.
10:28.
Yes,
Yes.
Well, it's as far as not that there's anybody on Zoom right now today.
Huh, weird.
They
There's
start
usually a lot.
popping in
Usually
just
or
before.
later.
I mean, if people,
Yeah.
they come in at the last second.
Come on.
Or 10 minutes late.
Right. No, that's Karen,
Well, some
and Linda does that
some
too.
online are, it's like joys and concerns. Bing. Come in. Bing bong.
One more minute, Kathleen. I'm looking at that clock, so.
Oh, that.
Well, being a church organist and all, you pay attention to time, because you have to start at a certain time, on the prelude, It's become a habit.
Our gathering song is number 40. Spirit of Truth of Life.
I'll play through it as always, and then we'll sing it twice.
Dakota Unitarian Universalist Church. I'm Alice. My pronouns are she, her. Special welcome to all our online guests and members. We're going to start off Women's History Month. I think we should have 12 Women's History Months, but that's just me. With a service led completely by women. That's me and Suki's son. And the name of her talk today is A Journey of Music, Make Complexity a Friend. So if you wish to make a donation to our church, we have a basket in the back. There's a place online where you can find out about making donations. And we also have a jar with for change for charity back with our treat table. So anyone who is interested in membership, contact Kathy, and I think she's going to be away for a while, so if you're interested, you better contact her today, right? And because if we do have some interest and a possibility of new members, we would probably have a ceremony on Easter Sunday.
If they're available that day.
Right, if it all works out like that.
Which is March 31st.
Right. Just a little reminder to please remain seated at the end of the service for Kathleen's postlude, so that everybody may enjoy it. Any other announcements?
Next week is council meeting. Anybody is welcome.
9 o'clock here.
Yes.
Right. Any other announcements? No? Okay. All right. Well, relax. Center yourself with this prelude. responsive reading today is adapted from The Womb of the Stars by Joy Atkinson. The womb of stars embraces us. Remnants of their fiery furnaces pulse through our veins.
We are of the stars, the dust of the explosions cast across space.
We are of the earth. We breathe and live in the breath of ancient plants and beasts.
Their cells nourish the soil. We build our communities on their harvest of gifts.
Our fingers trace the curves carved in clay and stone by forebears unknown to us.
We are part of the great circle of humanity gathered around the fire, the hearth, the altar.
We gather anew this day to celebrate our common heritage.
May we recall in gratitude all that has given us birth.
In the spirit of giving birth to our unified flame, we light this chalice as a community and say together,
May the light we now kindle inspire us to use our powers to heal with love,
to help with compassion,
to bless with joy, to serve you, spirit of freedom, in the fullness of community.
Our opening hymn is number 404, What Gift Can We Bring? Please stand if you're able, or wish to. Simply wish to.
I'm just gonna introduce it for Suki. We are gonna play through it once and then we'll sing the 3 verses. Okay, let me get on the right key here.
Gather together as a community of seekers to honor the interdependence of life, to respect the dignity of all, and to honor the land we humbly walk upon. Friends, let us acknowledge that we now stand and sit upon the traditional territories of the indigenous people, the Dakota, for whom this very county and congregation are named, and others, the members of the original nations of this land, who continue to cry out for justice, preservation, and self-determination. We are blessed with a space, a community, and opportunities to strive to live out our common principles, to bring justice, equity, and compassion into our daily lives, to resist all that threatens the earth and her people, and to live out our dream of a world community of peace, liberty, and justice for all. Let these thoughts carry us forth as we journey and worship together. Now is the time for joys and concerns. I invite you, if you wish, to come up and share your joy or concern, light a candle, if you wish.
That's great.
So yesterday, one of the courses I sing in, mixed company singers, sponsoring and hosting a cappella festival, Flyover Fest, and there were 200 singers from, I don't know, 15 different groups. Most of them teenagers and college students. And it was so cool to see that many kids come together to do an art form. And during the breaks and stuff, I looked around and almost none of the kids were by themselves on their phones doing this. So they were engaging with each other and there to sing together and make music, and that gives me hope.
This is for Kathy. Her birthday is coming up in a few days on the 5th.
Happy birthday.
So we had a small gathering at our house with kids and my mom. And then we'll be gone for 3 weeks while we travel in Ireland. So.
Tough job. Somebody's got to do it. That's right.
Find that pub that Peter Mayer sings about. I don't know.
This is for Puzzle Master Will Shorts. He had a stroke a few weeks ago. Oh, no. And is recovering. He was on today, not to do the puzzle, but to tell us what was going on. So hopefully he'll be back soon. He sounded pretty good considering.
I love trying to solve that, and I figure it out usually, but it takes really listening.
Is there anyone online that would like to share?
Yes, if I could. My dad will be having major surgery next week for a cancer diagnosis, so these are my thoughts.
It's good to see you, Sherry.
Thank you.
I'm going to light a final candle for all those joys and concern that remain unspoken. May you know that whatever befalls in life, you are held in the loving embrace of this community. And now, whoops, let me be sure I do the loving embrace candle properly. And now we say together for all those joys and concerns, both spoken and unspoken.
We hold you in our hearts.
Okay, we have a reflective reading here. It's called The Joy of Music by Genevieve Brooks. Is it going to, yeah, it is a little complicated. So I'll take it a little slow, okay? A single thread in a dark room can breathe life back into soulless shells. Music connects unreachable persons too far removed to be touched any other way. Music is stories of tragedies and triumphs woven in a way that is accessible for all. Untold romances, love unrequited, tales from the depths of living hell, or stories of heaven upon earth. Life springs from the notes, dancing lightly on the air, spinning, whirling, tip-topsy-turving, whisking you off on a tail. To lands of sweet dreams, from wishes upon a star, unfulfilled promises or deepest desires, longings ignored that scar forevermore. A picture can be 1,000 words or more, while music is stories that can fill 1,000 books or more. And now we're going to have the main part of our service today, Suki-san, sharing with us her story.
Thank you. This is a wonderful reading. Thanks, Brian, to pick that reading.
You did?
No, but I think
Brian did.
I think Brian did.
Brian did.
So this is perfect reading. Hi everyone, I'm Suki. I'm Suki-san. I grew up in China, so I learned to play violin from 6 years old to 16 years old, every day, non-stop. but I play all alone. Even now, in all the university in China, they don't have music department. Like Beijing top universities, all the music is like a conservatory school. So it feels like musicians are like a different kind of group, isolated from the normal higher education. I don't know why, but one reason will be instruments were expensive at the time when I started to learn. We just don't have enough resources to buy these instruments for kids to learn, and also music lesson was expensive. So that's why the whole music journey in China was play alone. And also, it's not fun for a kid. So I rebel, I don't want to play. So my learning journey involved a lot of verbal abuse and physical abuse from my parents, because it's such a intense situation every day. When I wanted to go to the teacher, it's like. So after 16 years old, I went to a boarding school. One reason I want to go to a boarding school is I no longer want to play. So that's my perfect reason to tell my parents I don't want to play. Then fast forward, I came here, but somehow I still bring my violin to this country. But I never touch it. Just somehow there's a fake background music or memory there for the 10 years non-stop. Yeah. Then pandemic hit. At that time, I lived in Manhattan, and in Manhattan, that was the worst time could be in pandemic. And also in Manhattan, I used to joke with Bruce, like, well, what's your religion background? I feel like when I'm in China, it's communism, because it's what we taught. And in Manhattan, it's consumerism. It's my religion. It's like not only is it like a consume physical goods, but also the great like music, art. But the mode for me was to just consume. Then pandemic hit, nothing I can consume, they all shut down. Then what should I do? Then I start to repick my violin. It feels like the big wound of the war prompt me to look back at my own wound, because that's 10 years, very bittersweet memory, because I love music, right? But the way of teaching just made me don't want to do that. Then I moved here 3 years ago. Then I discovered, oh, maybe I should play with an orchestra or with other people. Then I had my first experience a year ago in Eastern Metro Symphony Orchestra. It used to cost 3M. Because I've never been to the rehearsal anyhow. I know violins, they share a stand. There's my first stand, second stand. But I was so scared, I brought my own stand. Because I don't want other people to hear me. But at that time, I didn't know. I also lost a great source, that meaning I could not hear other people clearly, because I literally create a distance between them, right? And the music stand is so important. Like the concert master, sometimes when she or he sit by himself, it's not a ritual, it's just common practice for other people to move on, to sit with a pair. So that kind of bonding, that kind of like helping each other really helped me to relax. Actually, people want to help each other. And even the concert master, he's like great soloist. And when I moved up one day, he said to me, "Thank you. I always need extra support." So even for experienced violinist like that, very humble and just appreciate the support. And at one point, I play something and he played something different, and he said, "Oh, you were right." So that's the environment, especially for community orchestra. They don't have that like a deadly competition. They really let me feel warm. Another thing I learned in playing in a group is really deep listen. Because when I play by myself, I can start at any time, I can stop any time, and the rest is killing me. When they have like how many bars, just how to count, like with my nickel, with my feet. Then eventually, it's count on other people. When other people playing certain notes, then I know after that I come in. So it's all mutual help each other and also listen. So I remember some musicians when we read an article, they would stop. They would even stand and see who is playing the main melody, and it's encouraged to find the melody so that you know you are what part of that. But I don't know about these, and the deep listening skill was never really trained to listen to others. So I'm going to show you some level description of the associate chamber music player. They will say, if you are intermediate player, what's the listening skill? So for intermediate player, your listening skill is peripherally, I aware others, and I get too absorbed in my part. So that's the intermediate. And I will think in our daily listening skill, sometimes when I listen to other people, I get absorbed on my part. So this is the intermediate listening skill. If I'm advanced in the musician world, is I'm aware of other parts and I try to match them. So that's a little more of your listening skill. If you're expert, I have keen awareness of other parts and then know how they fit. And then we'll say, I will try to fine-tune my intonation. So when I learned my violin, I was totally opposite. I tried to fine-tune my intonation perfectly without to really build my hearing muscle to what other people are doing. Just like daily relationship or in a group. If I want to practice deep listening, am I intermediate listener? Or am I advanced listener? Or am I an expert listener? Because I feel for me, a lot of times when I listen, I'm already rehearsed what I'm gonna say. Feels like I'm already do my own intonation to play back or say back. So it's the total opposite training of what will make a great ensemble. Another exercise in the ensemble is sometimes we just play very simple chord and to listen to each other. When it's perfect in tune, sounds good. But also when it sounds good, meaning it sounds louder. And the louder part happens exactly when I cannot hear myself. It's like when I melt, or when I dissolve into something bigger, I cannot hear myself, but people like with another perspective listen to us, we sound bigger. So it's a very spiritual practice. Because when I first went to the ensemble, I want to hear myself first, because the first impact was I always play alone. Now in ensemble, I cannot hear myself. Then I try to play louder or try to do something with that. Then now I start to feel more secure that the moment I do my technique, if I cannot hear myself, I'm doing the right thing. And actually, as a group, we sound even better. So it's small self, big self. That's a lesson for me. Another part is how to embrace making mistake. Bruce and I sometimes will go to the orchestra together. The conductor will say, make a mistake and make it loud. Because also like when you sing louder, and people, even you make a mistake, people, oh, she or he is singing from her heart, or his heart, right? If you make a mistake very timid, like, oh, that's really, what's wrong with so she would say, get the rhythm right, because as an ensemble, the rhythm will make sound more cohesive, more together. But if you play the wrong notes, doesn't matter. So I love his attitude towards starting perfection, but just see how we can play together. Interesting, in Chinese, harmony, the harmony, literally if I translate back to English, is together sound or and sound. So we use the same word as we would say and or together. So harmony is really about, are we together? So for very mature musicians, they will hear other playing, they adjust their pitch or tone. So one extreme example is a band, they have the music sheet, but somehow some music sheets, the key is different than the others. So when they play, but they are good listeners. So they so they switch to the other key. But then the other group also are good. They switch back. So eventually they are still not the same key. But can you say this is wrong or right? Because for a musician, if they are very naturally want to listen to it and play together, they all do the right thing. But even the outcome is still a different key. But this is pure perfect example like how community is like listen to each other. It doesn't matter. I play right or wrong, right? Yeah. Okay. And another thing I want to share you. That's something I didn't know before I went to the orchestra. There's I always envy people play piano because they don't really need to work on the intonation. but for violin, the intonation is like killing me. Then I learned there's the piano is they put one octave evenly put into 12 bucket, right? 12 keys. But actually it's not a physically pure intonation. So physical intonation is more the ratio is a more whole number. For example, like C, C and the G.
Okay.
Yeah. This is C. This is G. Yes. And then the ratio is G is 3 and the verse is 2, meaning G vibrates 3 times and the C vibrates 2 times. So they are whole number. But actually when we build a piano, actually the ratio is 2.9966 versus 2. Because at each key, just very difficult to every time to make the perfect tune, and we cannot tune piano every time for every key. So actually piano is a little compromised intonation system, but it made comfortable and it made convenient for us to use the instrument to sing a song. So I want to also share a screen. So in a pure intonation word, you see some of the numbers. Some is off, is minors, or some is positive. Meaning it's not a pure full step, half step, full step, half step. You have to adjust a little bit. So that's why in choral music or in ensemble music, we use our ear to find the perfect pitch, to find what feels good. Then next slide. So equal temperament is how the piano builds. So the just intonation is pure with the whole number of frequency. You can see they are off a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's something I never knew until I was playing in the orchestra, because sometimes we do the intonation exercise just to try to train our ear. So that's a difference there. So I never knew about that. And also I want to show you a visual image. They play a chord, 3 notes, and then you will see 3 like a circle. When it's perfect in tune, the image is very stable. And if it's sharp, it starts to spin to the right. If it's lower, it will spin to the left. Then we compare a scale with the pure intonation and then the piano equal temperament. We can have a visual experience. Can we show the video, please?
Here's the major third, C and E, in equal temperament. And here's the same major third in just intonation.
It's stable, it's more stable, it doesn't spin.
Here's the equal temperament major third again.
Spin, meaning it's not perfect.
When we play the E by itself, we can see that it's more than 13 cents sharper than the just interval. We'll now play through all of the intervals in the equal temperament C major scale one last time to see how they compare against the just intonation that Helix Tuner is visualizing. And here's the scale in just intonation.
Do you notice when it's pure intonation that the shape doesn't change? Yeah, it doesn't rotate, doesn't spin. Yeah. That's the pure intonation. As a human, as a using your ear or sing with other people, you can train to achieve that. So that's the beauty of using your ear and reach to that stability, like we're together, right? Also, yesterday I went to a singing group. There's no score. The conductor just sing to one group, then we follow and just sing to other group. It was pure listening skill, and because it was my first time, it's the first gathering for the for the spring season. So these old members, they would turn around and try to sing towards me, because in this way, because I sit behind like the fourth row, they want me to hear what they sing. And also in my old church choir, because we so rely on look at the score, we don't really want to have eye contact or sing to the other person, right? So in that group yesterday, people start to move their chair gradually more into a circle. Because in circle, it's easy for you to have eye contact. It's so moving. That's why I think why we call movement. Music really moves people physically, emotionally, get together more in a natural way. And also because we rely on listening to hear what the conductor says during when we stop singing, nobody talks, because kind of the listening momentum is still there. But I recall my old experience in choir, when we stop singing, we start to talk, we start to do other stuff, because it feels like the score is a distraction for have a very deep listening. So yesterday was a very also a very profound experience to me. I just it's very simple, but you just repeat, and you listen to each other. Then, because I emphasize intonation, is intonation or the pure intonations celebrate or see the higher standard in each music genre? No, because I now play in a tango ensemble, and violin and the bandoneon we tune to 442 hertz for A, and other like guitar and the piano they tune to 440. So even in one band, part of them play a little different because they want certain clash. They don't want the pure cleanness, as Western classical music see as the higher standard. Because tango comes from struggle, from people immigrate to Argentina. There's a lot of struggles. They don't want to sound pretty, because there are a lot of the sound they make has certain strong emotion which doesn't sound pretty. So that's also an eye-opening experience. Wow, we tune differently, but each music genre serves different purpose. So they do intonation differently. And also the beauty of community band is we want to make service to the people maybe has the least accomplished skill. For example, one pianist, she's always a little late or something, but the conductor asks us to follow her, because it's a unique experience for us to know she's gonna do some more freestyle stuff. How can we follow her? So she used her as an example for us to be humble. Maybe she's not classical trained, but we don't want to say, hey, you need to play with a metronome. No, it's our job to accompany a team member and make we sound together. So that's also the beauty of go to a tango music, because I think in classical ensemble, I don't think the teaching will be the same way. But somehow in different culture, they allow certain imperfect, but they want the community feel we are together and I'm with you, that kind of feeling. So that's really warm my heart. What else I wanna share? One part is I wanna share in Chinese character. So this is a Chinese character of I. When you see something, it looked like a bookshelf. Yeah, somehow my ancestors many thousand years ago they envisioned the future bookshelf look like this. You use your eyes to read. It creates certain stability when you see that it's there. And also, in our daily experience, when we see something, we feel it's more believable. When I see that, I believe that. And now, let's see, ear. That's Chinese character for ear. Feels like the bookshelf start to being little naughty or playful experiment, right? It's a try to extend the first shelf and try to stand in one leg. Right? Feels like when you hear something, you will break the textbook rightness. You will try to experiment. Maybe it's not so as written as something you read. It has more dynamic, has more playfulness, has more, it's like a dance. It's like more balanced skill. It's complicated, but it's more fun. So I really like the way the Chinese character made these two words and has a very profound thinking behind that, especially when I learn more of the music right now I'm playing with. I think that's some of the lessons I learned. Oh, also one interesting part is when Bruce and I went to the tango social dance. What they do is they put 3 songs together. They have a rest, there are another 3 songs. And the way they do is they will put 30 seconds of R&B or 30 seconds rap between these sets of songs. At the very beginning, we were joking, oh, the DJ made a mistake. How he would play a 30 seconds R&B or rap. Then we even talked to the organizer and said, hey, maybe the DJ didn't do a job. Yeah, we didn't know what we know. We were the first time go to a tango social dance, and we just assumed some people made a mistake. Then we talked to the organizer and said, oh, that's the way they do it, because they want to use the 30 seconds let people to say goodbye, they didn't want to search for other dance partner. So they embrace that kind of discord, it's for me like, what's the sound they put in there? And also tango music, they always end very soft. If you have chance to go to a real tango music. That versus in Western music, we always, right? It's always like this. I love them because the contrast, and also there's a certain sentimental there, how we end well. So I feel in tango music there's a certain tenderness. Even I have even I only have 3 songs to dance with you, but it's a very soft ending. It's a very inward. Thankful for the time we spent together for the 3 songs. So I just start, when I play more in different ensemble, I start to appreciate how they make music a certain emotional calling in a different situation. Okay, so I'm gonna end my presentation with a quote I love very much. Scott Fitzgerald said, in test of a first-rate intelligence is ability to hold the two opposed idea in the mind at the same time, and still remain the ability to function. I really love this quote. That's why I named my presentation Make Complexity a Friend. Now I'm going to also show you a little bit what I learned in tango music. It's also in very contradiction to what I learned in classical music. So in classical violin, we tend to say the bowing should be parallel to the bridge and to the part. But in tango music, violin serves as a percussion instrument. And to make the kind of drumming sound, we have to make our angle in this diagonal. So it's totally different than what I learned. So normally I play. If you have more parallel, you make better sound. But if I want to make like a percussion sound, I have to make. The more I do diagonal, the more I feel the bite of that. So that's something I had to relearn. And also for tango violinists, a lot of things are played during the frog. It's very difficult to play. In classical music, I try to avoid this lower part because it's very difficult to have a smooth bow change. But in tango, it's all like. If you want to make that sound, you have to play it in very. So it feels like now I need to have the courage to face my demon, because that's the place I avoid at any course if I want to play a beautiful sound. But in tango, they want the rhythm, right? They want the energy. They don't really care if you play clean or pretty. So that's also yeah, it's like just very counter to the opposite things I learned. Also, one thing they will even play at this part. If I play that, my teacher gonna hit me. You know, when I was playing the classical, they want to be but there's an energy there, right? So that's why I said, oh, there's so much potential. And so also use this as a pure percussion. There's some also things we learned in the tango ensemble. So in May, I will have a ensemble. Actually, we have a new group. It's our debut performance. So I will invite you to have a taste of the ensemble of tango music, to hear how the ending is. That's so delicate, so tender. And I think a lot of our own wound is not because we start bad, but we end bad. We don't learn how to really end well. So I think that's also a profound lesson for me. Okay, then I will play a song with Catherine. That's why I love to play music for you, because it's like it's live music. It's live music. It has so much power to connect people. So this piece was written by a French girl called Lily Boulanger. At the time, he was only 17 years old, and in 1910. And 2 years later, she was 19 years old, and she became the first woman to win the most, like the highest honor for artists at that time. Like DUUC, like Berlioz won that award, but she died only 24 years old. But her sister Nadia Boulanger became the teacher of a lot of the composers, like Piazzolla, Bernstein also. Yeah, so that's her piece when she composed at only 17 years old. Yeah, it's a night tune.
deep breath. Now is our time for a chance to comment or question our presenter, Suki, so you have to come back up here. But it's going to be ad lib this time, or extemporaneous.
So can I start?
Yes, Chuck.
I love your presentation very much. One of the things from being an a cappella singer, and then you talked about the just intonation and the tempered scale and all that. When you have a chord, one thing that happens with the just intonation, when you have four parts being played, four notes being played, or four notes being sung, if you're doing it with that just intonation, that perfect intonation, then that creates overtones in the room, so there are a fifth and maybe a sixth or even a seventh note you can hear with only four notes being played, and that's what gives me the goosebumps. You know.
Is that what they call harmonics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said it's louder, because
Yeah,
there are
because
so many
our
notes.
expanded
You
sound.
just create something like ghost notes, you know?
We call it the angels have come to sing
Yeah,
along
like
with us.
spiritual notes flowing around. If you have the.
We call it expanded sound in our thing. So, yeah. It's very cool. And I always wondered about a string quartet, if they're using just intonation, because it sounds richer than other types of music that.
I think we do. We
Yeah.
try to reach that.
Yeah.
I think before keyboard or piano was invented, all the music group they use the pure intonation, because
Right.
it's just easy to adjust.
Right.
Yeah.
Anybody online with a question?
How old were you when you came here?
Oh, in US,
Yes.
like 32 something.
Oh, okay.
We're really glad you're here.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
I'm very curious about the role of your childhood training and pressure. I mean, it sounds like it was not fun at all.
Not.
And yet it gave you at least the basis
Exactly.
for a lot of fun now.
Yeah.
What can you say about that, or what would you recommend? I'm remembering my sister married a Chinese man, and he started their daughter on piano, and she ended up hating it because he pressured her so much.
Yeah.
And she never, like you, she never blossomed and picked it up again, which is kind of sad, you know? So how do you,
I think at that time, my parents did what they could. Our teacher did what they could, because they were trained in this way. And at that time, become a musician might be a better way for your future, you know. And also, they don't care about your happiness. They don't care about your joy. But music is about joy. And also in Chinese character, music also means joy too. We use the same word.
Interesting.
We use the same word. And also like sound or music, certain character in Chinese belong to water family, you know, fire family, or you know, different element. So music and sound all belong to wood. So in here it's like you have a root note, remember here? So it feels like we all see that as something can grow, and there's a root, they build up, they can build up. So I think, yeah, but the technique is here, I learned that. But I can rework the childhood trauma, like reparent. So right now when I practice, I try to reparent myself. Like I'm my own parent. I will learn a very difficult piece. What shall I do? So that's why it's about. Also, for me, it's a more a healing journey than other. If I want to choose, if it's more exploration, adventure, for me it's healing, to love myself and love the wrong note, but in the right time. That's all my conductor would say. Yeah. And also give me opportunity to share my music with a live audience. That's such a gift for So at that time, we don't have, because we don't have a real music school, it's just private teachers, so I don't have a real like a recital experiences, nothing.
Yeah.
That's why it's very boring, so. So thanks for Catherine accompanying me every time.
I love working with her. I just am so blessed.
I'm so blessed to find this group.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
We have a closing hymn, number 86. Please stand if you're able and willing.
Okay, the same format. I'm going to give an intro. We're going to play through it, and then there's just 2 verses that we'll sing.
Should life challenge you this week, be strong. Because remember, you carry with you the love we hold for you. And remain seated for the postlude. Thank you. I'd like to try something different today, okay? I'm making an executive decision. I think it would be really nice if we only took half the chairs out and put them away, and then form two circles. One here and one here for chairs, and then of course the last people that go will have to put the chairs up there. What do you guys think?
Like it.
Eric?
I like it.
Okay.
Want to take that? Thank you. I gotta run.
I have to go to fly over.
I have to fly over to Irondale High School.
I love the music. I'm searching. I'm gonna see if I can.
Was it?
Right.
Yeah.